quick things, and probably in the most succinct way would be is if you can just type in the chat a couple of your reactions, and then we'd love to be able to get, if you have questions, we'd love to have the questions, but just maybe just real quick, overall, just everybody put a few comments in the chat, and then maybe can we take one or two people that would like to just do a quick, what did you think, that would want to share with the group?
How about one or two comments from people about being a client specifically?
So for people who are just on the phone, can you hear me?
Yes, who's this? All we see is your phone number, sorry.
Oh. Hi, this is Georgiana.
Hi,
I've been muted most of the time.
Oh gosh.
Would this be okay for me to jump in with a comment?
Absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah, so my observation is, as a client, it was beautiful and I loved the process, and I really, like in 4 minutes, got a terrific insight into myself and my coaching work.
Wow.
And as a coach, it felt incredibly uncomfortable, and I felt really stupid asking what else over and over again. And I wanted to embellish with other types of questions and a different way of asking it, and putting my stuff on top of it. So there's a lesson in there, I'm sure. But yeah, so those would be my comments.
Okay, great. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, how easily. I mean, one of the things I appreciate about Clean Language is the discipline it gives me not to be tempted to add those other things, and of course, we were just giving you one question to learn, and there are 12 basic Clean Language questions and then some others as well. So which is why I demonstrated for you in the demo. I didn't just use one question, and as Jill can tell you, I wasn't able to restrain myself in the practice either. Okay, another question?
Or reaction?
Another reaction as a client, your experience? One more person with a client experience?
Well, I could actually see everything that she was describing, and it was it was so clear as a coach, and it helped me to stay in the Clean Language by me visualizing it. And right. I'm wondering, is that what you do too?
It's a great question. I'm sure I inevitably do visualize, but I hold my visualization very lightly, by which I mean, I know that what I'm seeing is not what my client is seeing, no matter how much he or she's been describing it. It's virtually impossible. So while I may have some ideas that may guide where I ask questions about, I'm very careful not to confuse my image with what the client's seeing. So I'm really listening, because they'll say something and you realize, oh, that's not what I thought she was saying. Mm-hmm. Or sometimes 10 minutes later, they'll mention something about like, the cat that's been at my side the whole time. And you thought, cat? I haven't heard about a cat. And there's a good reminder to you. The client's never going to be able to tell you everything they see or imagine whatever. And they may leave out details that come out later, and it's just a really good reminder. You're never getting the entire picture. But I appreciate, Connie, what you're saying about this sort of feeling of connectedness. And okay, how about two people would like to comment on their experience as a facilitator? Of course, you just had a couple minutes and just one question, but anything you'd like to say you noticed? Or
I'll jump in.
This is Jill, and like Georgiana said, I kind of wanted to embellish a little bit. It was challenging just to stay with that one question. What I really liked about it is that this model plays to one of my strengths, which is I am very much a word person. Some people are very visual. I'm always very analytical and logical, and so words just stick with me. And so to be able to use this with my clients as a way to flow through a conversation is really exciting for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my comment similar to Jill's is that I like kind of doing the flow chart and picking up on the keywords and then doing the arrow. So thanks for that tip, Gina. And then for me as an introvert, I found it helpful to be able to kind of reflect back to Candace, you said this and this and this, and then, so what about this thing? It helped me to buy a little time to think about that next question and to
Yes.
created a structure for the next question to emerge.
Great. Yeah, that's one of the things you asked about, the repetition. And I didn't take the time to say, but one of the great advantages is it gives you time to decide what you're going to ask.
Right.
First learning, some people, it's really challenging to repeat people's words back exactly. And that's all they can focus on, so it's not helping them. But you will get to the point, I promise, if that was hard for you, where you can use that time that you're doing the repetition to finish taking the notes you want to take and to figure out what your next question is going to be.
Yeah.
So that's entirely selfish advantage to the repetition, and it certainly serves the client well. But it
Right. It's a win-win.
Yeah.
And if you see some of the remarks and the comments, I mean, very positive, especially from the client perspective, and the comments about, boy, I wanted to ask another different kind of question. I thought I had overused this as a client or as a coach. Your client doesn't even realize what you're saying. They start to get into their own subconscious in this metaphor. So trust the process and trust keeping it very simple. When you start putting in a lot more words, and you make it a little more complicated, that's when it's not clean, and you start to guide your client. And just trust the process, just practice it. And we get to be stronger coaches is just going back and practicing. So
I love Kirsten's comment about it made me really curious about my own imagery. And, that's absolutely what clients will experience, even sometimes if it's emotionally hard or whatever. This is very engaging. It's like, wow, who knew I had this inside me? And so, they get really curious. And when you ask questions, you're implying your curiosity. You're encouraging them to be curious about themselves as well.